So I recently got an account on this super great site, and it's a fortune dating app. And let me tell you, this app is absolutely amazing. It's great. There are so many schizos over here. So I got myself an account and I put some beautiful pictures on here. I'm sure that these will get me a lot of interested people. Haven't had one message me yet, but I'm sure this is only a matter of time. But anyway, what I'm here for today is the Q&A option. This thing is about the best personality test that I've ever seen. Like, really, it's so accurate. So it has this thing where it shows you from the qualities that you have the most to the qualities that you have the least of. And if you look at my lowest qualities, the lowest one is self-acceptance followed by maturity, and that's that's about correct. Of course, self-esteem is quite low, but surprisingly, it's not that low. I would expect it to be around somewhere here. But anyway, it's still pretty much correct, and these questions are quite good as well. So I thought I'm just gonna do a few of them today. So this one is actually really interesting. Should someone living below the poverty line be legally prevented from having children? Okay, so this one, many people don't actually agree with. You can see that many people don't agree with this, but I actually think it is in fact correct. Someone living below the poverty line should be prevented from having children, because I think that you as a person, you're responsible for bringing a new life. Because if you bring a new life to this world and you can't be sure of providing the good opportunities for your child, I think it's really like kind of hurting that child, you know? I don't say you need to be like incredibly rich, but I think at least the poor people shouldn't really bring any more suffering to the earth, you know? Well, I mean, I think that we as humanity shouldn't have kids at all, but this is a controversial take. And preventing the poor people from having children, I think, is the step in the right direction. So not every one of these questions are interesting. I'm gonna skip some of them. If you could choose, would you prefer a world run by everyday people rather than a politician? I think that both choices are bad. Politicians will do whatever benefits them, and everyday people will do the thing that benefits them, so it doesn't really change anything. What I would prefer probably is monarchy. Monarchy would be better because then the king, as long as he is experienced, he will make the good choices for the country. Is love something that needs to be present from the start of a relationship instead of developing over time? Not at all. I actually think that love from the first sight doesn't exist, and I absolutely hate the idea. Just part of the reason I hate something like Romeo and Juliet. That's absolutely terrible, because it's not possible to love someone from the first sight, and that's exactly what happens. They just see each other and they decide, yes, this is the person that I will love for the rest of my life. This is not possible. You can be into someone, kind of, but not like in love. Is it wrong to take a selfie at a somber event? So like a funeral? That's interesting. It kind of depends what event it is. For the most part, it probably is wrong. But what if, for example, you're at a funeral of someone you absolutely despise? Because maybe someone was a bad person, and then you would dance on their grave and take a selfie. And would that be wrong if they were a bad person? I think that then it would be something that they deserve, right, you know? But overall, I don't really know. Do you think it's acceptable to wear pajamas to the grocery store? To be honest, I wouldn't care at all. I think it's really not my business what people wear. Okay, with some limitations, okay? So I wouldn't really like if someone is exposing too much skin, you know? I wouldn't like that. But a pajama? I don't think I would care at all. Honestly, I would be kind of impressed that they are brave enough to go in a pajama to a grocery store. And I think that this is, it may seem weird, but why should I let it affect me? I do not give a damn, to be honest. This is not something that I want to spend my time on. Yes. Do you wear the same pair of jeans in public a few times before washing them? Well, I assume this is about pants generally, not about jeans specifically. I don't use jeans at all. I use tracksuit, but yeah, I wear them a few times before washing. Did you participate in any extracurricular activities while you were growing up? Oh yeah, there was this, I'm not exactly sure what it was, but basically I had these psychological tests. I think there was something like my intelligence is really high, but for some reason I was also retarded in some way. I'm not exactly sure, but they gave me those extracurricular classes to make me less retarded, I presume. I don't know how it worked. I have no idea what it was, but I had these extracurricular classes, even though on my, like, on paper it said that I was like above average in intelligence, although I'm pretty sure that I'm not above average anymore. Like, whatever number of gray cells in my brain that I had back then, I'm pretty sure due to school now my brain is like at least 50% smaller from the amount of like stress that I endured and learning absolutely useless and stupid things. So yeah, I did participate. Do you often find yourself oscillating between loving and hating your favorite celebrities? Not really. When I like someone, I usually stick with them. Would it be better if affirmative action was based on socio-economic status rather than race? Now, I didn't know what affirmative action is, and apparently it is, it refers to a set of policies and practices within a government or organization seeking to benefit marginalized groups. Well, it obviously would be better, because racism isn't really cool, and even the, like, backwards racism that, like, black people have for white people, it's a bad thing. It also mentions something here like positive discrimination. I don't think there is anything like positive in discrimination. Like, if it's discrimination, it's bad. Right now, many people are like very racist towards the white race. I think they say it's okay because, well, the whites were racist in the past, and that's a really racist thing to say. Overall, I don't think if affirmative action is good or not, even if it's based on socioeconomic status. But I'm sure it's better than if it is based on race. So yes. Are you career focused? I'm only uploading like once a month, so not really. Logically, is it possible to have a world without evil? Wow, this is a great question. And it's an incredibly complex one that you cannot answer yes or no. I used to believe that utopia would be possible, but like in order to create utopia, you would have to like basically kill all of the bad people, I think. So you would be left with like 1% of people who are the least evil. And I think that if we were to let these people go on for a few generations, I think it would be possible for them to raise their kids in a way that they wouldn't be evil. I think whether you will be evil or not is determined within like first, like, I don't know, 15 years of your life. So I think that theoretically it would be possible. Although then there is also a problem of when there is one person, it's one person is enough who will do some kind of mistake and I don't know, go too far in arguing with another person. This could cause a spiral of bad behavior and eventually turn the world back to evil. And I think one person is really enough for this. Because if we have a question of whether the people are good or evil from the moment they are born, I think it's purely determined from the way they are brought up. But if someone makes a mistake, if there is one person, one evil person in the world, then, you know, it's enough for that one person to do some evil, and the other people, even if they try to be good, they will most likely reciprocate that evil, and there will be more and more evil going in between people. This is simply human nature. I used to think that utopia would be possible, but now I think that it's a very hard question. But in theory, I think it may be possible. So I'm gonna select yes. Are people too politically correct these days? Oh, definitely. Should rich people pay more taxes than they do? I'm not sure. You know, there were quite a few rich people who said that they pay less taxes than the poor people. Like Warren Buffett, for example. He said something about paying less taxes than his secretary, which is kind of insane, to be honest. And it's kind of true that the system has a lot of loopholes for the rich people to not pay the taxes. So I don't think that rich people should be taxed much more than poor people, but at least I think that there shouldn't be these loopholes that allow them to not pay taxes. But overall, I'm not well versed in finance, so I don't really know. Do you believe in the existence of a secret society of lizard people? Secret society that, I don't know, wants to rule the world? Maybe, but lizard people? I don't think so. Do you think a cozy bookshop date is more romantic than a fancy restaurant? Oh, that's for certain. Especially that you don't have to pay, and that's, paying much for your food is very, very unromantic thing to do. And there are always these, like, you should say, I will pay, or otherwise it will not be, like, if you don't propose paying for the whole thing, it is generally socially frowned upon. Okay, I think that's about it for now. I answered a lot of these questions, and it doesn't really change the whole thing anymore. It pretty much stays the same, but the questions are generally quite interesting, at least most of them, and I actually have a few more ideas on this app. So if you want to see more of it on my channel, please leave a like. Bye bye!